Hello, everybody. Welcome to the stream. I just gorged myself on soup. You know when you're feeling like, you feel spry, you're feeling good, you can walk around, you can do stuff, and then you're like, I'm gonna eat this thing. And then at a certain point you say, I'm gonna eat too much of that thing. I'm gonna eat too much of it because it's delicious. Yeah. Dude, I finally found an egg flour soup recipe that tastes exactly like the egg flour soup that I grew up eating. Life-changing. The only thing that it needs, the egg flour soup that I had growing up had little chunks of water chestnut in it. It's for like an interesting like little crunchy factor. That's not in here. But everything else is perfect. Literally all I have to do to make the perfect egg flour soup from my early life is get water chestnuts. I'm so excited. I've had two full, these are pretty big. I've had 2 full mugs of this. It's so good. Yeah, I'll put the recipe in chat. It was a TikTok video. And I was like, that looks so easy. And it was. It took no time at all. So good, dude. I know. Very happy. And I showed it to Clark and she went, that looks awesome. And I was like, do you want to try it? She goes, no. Fair enough. You can't get cans of sliced water chestnuts in Great Britain? I don't know. I've never looked for them. This was man, I have a lot of ginger in my house that I need to use up. So I made a blueberry shrub and I made this because I had seen this recipe and it needed like big clumps of ginger to boil as an aromatic. I assume you can get them here though. I've just never looked. I've never had a reason to. Free and Alex say, yes, you can. Hell yeah. You like how I was like, I ate too much of this soup, and now that it's in my hand, I'm like, I could eat the rest that's in here, though. It's so good, dude. Yeah, they're great. Tiny little chunks. Oh, baby. What Clark did try today, though, was the shrub. A Twitter reminder. Thank you. And I was very proud because she kept being like, I do not like the smell of that. Oops. That's Twitch, you silly goose. I'm gonna bait with food. There we go. When is the schedule changing back? Monday. So a shrub is like, it's basically like a vinegar syrup. As some of you will remember, I love drinking syrups, which are basically like drinking vinegars, I mean, which are like vinegars that you can mix with either water or, you know, a carbonated water of some kind or whatever you want to mix it with. As long as it tastes good, you know, live your bliss. Jeannie gave me a book forever ago that's called Naturally Sweet Food in Jars, and I've only made a couple things from it, but Clark wanted to look through it today. And so we were looking through it. She was convinced that there was a cupcake in there. I was like, I don't think there are any cupcakes in this book. So we're flipping through, And I was like, ooh, a blueberry ginger shrub? That sounds amazing. It's literally blueberries, honey, apple cider vinegar, and oh my god, was that it? Blueberries, honey, apple cider vinegar, and ginger. And ginger, obviously. And then you just boil it for a while and strain it. And it's great. But I was expecting, because while it was boiling, she was like, I do not like this smell. But once it was like in the, this is what it looks like, I'm drinking it right now. Once it was in there, she was like, what is that? I was like, it's the thing that we made. She was like, So she tried it. And she was like, that's not bad. I'll take it. What is that? That thing you just ridiculed. That thing that you said smells bad. Clark. But yeah, so I got to use up all my ginger. I was very excited. Oh. My neck is so stiff all the time, dude. Sounds like it would taste similar to kombucha. It's not fermented. It's literally you muddle like a ton of blueberries. You mash them up, put them in a pot with a bunch of honey, a bunch of apple cider vinegar, and a bunch of ginger, and you boil it for like literally 10 minutes max, and then you strain it. And then it's like a concentrated syrup that you can add to water or whatever. It's good. Shrub apparently comes from Arabic sharba. I didn't know that. My friend's kid yesterday was offered new food and said, I don't want it, but I should try it because sometimes I try things and like them. Great, good talk. You know, take what you can get. Drinking vinegar sounds horrible, but I'd try it. You know, it's I really like it because I like kind of tart and bitter things. It makes like a sweet and tart. If you like sort of sweet or like fruity like lemonades, where you get that acidic element of the lemons, but you know, they add in blueberries or whatever else. It's similar to that, I would say. You okay, honey? What you doing? Can I see? It's healing up. Your little neck? It's healing up a bit, huh? I wonder how vinegar acid is for my very easily bothered stomach. I think maybe something like this would be fine. Only, I'm not a doctor, so, but only because it gets diluted so much, you know? So whatever potential benefits you could get out of having vinegar, I don't know, maybe it's good for your gut or something. But like, it gets diluted down so much. It's not like, I'm gonna be straight with you. When I was a kid, there were a couple of adults in my life who, when I was sick, would make me just drink apple cider vinegar because they believed that it would cure me. No comment. So, that shit I would literally lay on the floor like, I'm gonna die. Like, my stomach is so fucking upset. This feels terrible, right? It is not even remotely. It's like the smallest, tiniest bit of vinegar in this. Oh, when you compared it to, for example, lemons, that family's not good. I see. I got you. Yeah, I don't know. No guarantee then. I can chime in on this one. I'm a dietitian. It's usually the concentration of acid that upsets the stomach. Diluting it usually helps. Cool. Was this before or after finding out about lactose intolerance? After. We found out I was lactose intolerant when I was pretty young. This is like middle school, high school, you know. Morning, everybody, or afternoon, or evening. I don't know, wherever you are. Welcome. Clarky had her first evening birthday yesterday. She was very excited. She felt so grown up. There's a place like a few towns over that has like a kid's place to have birthdays, but they let you just book it out after hours. So I guess 2 different birthdays got combined into one big birthday so that they could be like, okay, let's split the cost on just booking out the whole place at like 6 p.m. and then just our kids will be there. So that's what they did, and it was very fun, and Clark was very upset when she needed to leave. Over this, we've started calling her Clarky Brown because she does the Charlie Brown walk. I don't know where it came from. She had never seen Charlie Brown before. We showed her a picture and she was like, I do not know what that is. But literally something will happen and she'll immediately like lip out, like shuffle walk. It's so funny. So yeah, over the God mic, the person was like, hey, it's time to leave, kids. Please get off of, the toys and shit and go put on your shoes. And all of the kids are like running back to put on their shoes. They're totally fine. And then there's Clark just shuffle walking, head down. Da, 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 da. And Sam and I both just whispered, Clarky Brown. Because it's impossible not to now. It's so funny to us. But she had a lot of fun. And she ate 3 slices of pizza. A monster. She likes school now? Oh, no. She likes birthdays. No, she does not like... I think structure, like, offends her in a lot of ways, which, I feel that. Literally every morning when we have to wake up and get dressed, she's like, I'm skipping. I'm not going. I don't want to go. When she comes home, she's like, yeah, I had a good day. It was fine. But, like, getting her out the door, holy shit. Yeah. We were talking about, because Sam and I, on the way home, because she fell asleep in the car. So Sam and I on the way home were discussing whether or not we should get rid of the Christmas tree while she's asleep or let her be involved with it, right? And I was like, I think she needs to get used to the idea of, like, not everything can just stay in the house, like we actively do whatever. And Sam was like, but there's a possibility that we do it while she's asleep and she just won't remember that there was ever a Christmas tree there. And I was like, I That might have worked when she was 3, honey. I don't think that works anymore. So this morning I was like, okay, gang, because Sam hadn't gone to sleep yet. I was like, okay, gang, when I'm done with work, we're going to have our family meeting, because we have a family meeting every week now to make sure that we know what's going on with everybody. So we're going to have our family meeting, and then I think as a group, we should take the ornaments off the tree. And Clark was like, yeah, because the tree's dying. And I was like, yeah. And as they droop, ornaments will start falling off, and we don't want the ornaments to break. And she was like, okay, yeah. And Sam was like, yeah. And then we'll take the tree outside. And Clark was like, no. It's like, we're taking the ornaments off, but the tree stays. And he was like, So, yeah. I was like, well, Clarky, you know, sometimes farmers really like to have the trees because their goats will eat them and it's good for them. Or, you know, there's all kinds of things that you can do with your trees to make sure that they're not just like getting just thrown away, you know, that the tree can like help the next thing. And Sam was like, yeah, we can see if there are any farmers around that are using trees for something. And Clark was like, it's our tree. I don't want to give it away. And Sam on his way out goes, I wonder where she gets that from. It's like, shut the fuck up. My mother-in-law, they're going through their cellar. It's been a whole thing. Every day in the fam chat, they're putting like 18 pictures up of like, here's all the shit that's going in the skip if nobody claims it. One of the things was a huge box just full of bottles. And in the chat, I was like, if I'm unsupervised, I will take those bottles. And Sam and I were talking about it in the car. I was like, did you see the box of bottles? He was like, yeah. He was like, honey, if you want the bottles, get the bottles. I was like, no, that is not your job. That's not your role in this relationship. It's like, Sam, I need you to hold me accountable. What the fuck do I need those bottles for? And he was like, right. Okay. What do you need? What are you going to do with the bottles? I was like, I mean, I can think of a bunch of things to do with the bottles. And he was like, do you have something to do with the bottles? Or are they going to sit until you decide to use the bottles? I was like, they will sit. They will sit until I decide what to do with the bottles. He was like, then you should not grab the bottles. I was like, you're correct. That's correct. That's the conversation I needed. Thank you. Dude. In our house currently, 2 full shelves of glass. Just glass bottles. Glass containers that things have come in, and I've been like, that's a fun shape. Useful in hyper-specific situations. Yeah. Sam's mom messaged him and was like, I have a whole folder that's full of like old art of yours and like certificates, all kinds of stuff. I'll drop it by your house. And Sam goes, I don't want it. Get rid of it. I didn't even know that shit existed anymore. Just get rid of it. And I was like, holy fuck, we are actual opposites. It's like neither of us could just be like kind of sentimental. One of us has to be too sentimental and the other one has to be like not sentimental at all. Like just it's garbage. Just get rid of it. And meanwhile I'm like, oh, but wouldn't it be so fun to like look at your old art? He's like, I have my old art. I have some of my mom literally gave me some of my old art 6 months ago. I don't need more. I haven't done anything with the shit she gave me before. So, you know. Yeah. this. If Sam and I could both do this, it would be like a normal amount of sentimental. Yeah. I told Clarky, I saw some people apparently will take, or maybe one of you said this in chat last time we talked about this, but like some people will saw off just like a little chunk of their Christmas tree before throwing it away and then write like the year on it. And so I was like, maybe if there was like a sentimental thing like that we did and then put them up every Christmas or every like winter season, whatever, maybe that would be something that made it a bit easier for Clarky, you know? I have such low sentimental attachment to most things, but empty glass bottles, gotta keep those, dude. Yeah, because my brain, and I know that this is hoarder brain, I know that. My brain goes, well, if I make a thing, I have lots of bottle options to put that thing in. Because in my mind, I'm like, well, I make a lot of stuff, right? And so I wind up needing like bottles and whatever to put element like different craft supplies in, or like if I say that I made a shit ton of this shrub, right? It's like, well, then I'd have bottles and I could put some of the shrub in a bottle and gift it to my mother-in-law, right? And then, you know, she wouldn't need to give the bottle back because it used to be a jam jar. So like, who cares? You know, like, but for the most part, I just have a lot of glass stuff just sitting, waiting to be given purpose. It's wild because glass is probably the most recyclable item. Not here. If you put glass in your recycling here, they take it out. Very cool. There's loads of bottle banks though. Sure. That's like an extra step that I'm probably not gonna do. I'm saying if your argument is like it's very easy to recycle, I assume you mean like the process by which you turn glass into something else or reuse the glass is easier, but it is not easy to recycle it, is what I'm saying. Why the fuck do you have hot dogs in bottles? So that they're shelf stable. Hot dogs are shelf stable here. That's pretty tight. I've come around on it, you know? Hi, honey. That sounds disgusting. It's just canned hot dogs, dude. The American hot dogs aren't? No, they go in the fridge. They come in a plastic bag in the refrigerated section. Either way, yeah, so it's literally said that. Either way, there's liquid in there. There's liquid in the plastic bag with the hot dogs, or there's liquid in the jar with the hot dogs. But Sam found like a plastic bagged hot dog situation, I think at Little's. The better ones are canned though, flavor-wise, if I'm being honest. Why would anyone preserve hot dogs? It's just, dude, it's just so that you don't have to eat the hot dogs right away. You can just have hot dogs on your shelf. The same reason to put anything on your shelf.
Fine cat-loving, coffee-drinking burrito babe.
Hello, world. Welcome to the Cat Gang. Thank you very much. I hope you're having an amazing day. I appreciate it. Why is food always the thing that gets chat so heated? I portioned out a bunch of Sam's food today. Just got that done. I told him yesterday, I was like, I'm food king, so I will take on this task of being in charge of what you're eating. However, I have demands. He's like, okay. I was like, as a thank you to me, you are now dishwasher king. He was like, fuck, okay. I'll make all the food. I'll make all the food in this house. I'll do all of it. I'll portion all of it. Whatever you need, dude. But fuck me, I'm not doing all those dishes. Absolutely not. That's a nice fleece sweater thing. My cat would not allow that to be so hair free. My white cat was literally just here. I don't know if you can tell, there's a bunch of white cat hair on this now. Who's laundry king? Me. Because we have to go to the laundromat, and so I'm able to do it in the morning once a week. I've already got a routine and everything, so I was like, I'll just keep doing laundry. I'm fine with that, because I've got a whole thing now, you know. I wash it, I chill, throw it all in the dryer, go get my breakfast at you know, the place where they know exactly what I want, and I'm a regular now. Get breakfast by the time I'm done. My clothes are dry. I've got a whole thing. So. I'm seeking a laundry king of my own. We don't have a dryer. We just hang it out. If I'm already at the laundromat, I will throw the things that don't need to be hung to dry on the line. Washing machine is fixed, right? It is. Yes. But you know, the stuff that we hang dry, I still use the washing machine for. It's still a little finicky, to be honest, and occasionally I open it up and it still smells weird in there. There's just something super convenient, honestly, about being like, you know what? None of us are even gonna think about laundry all week. We're gonna make one big obnoxious pile this week. The stuff that needs to be hanged to dry, that'll go in a separate pile, but everything else, just chuck it in a big, awful pile and ignore it until Monday. And on Monday, I will take it to the laundromat. Everything being the same color when it comes out. I have never had that issue. I've never had an issue with clothes bleeding on each other ever. I throw everything in together. The only thing that I section off stuff like all of Clarky's tool skirts and stuff, all of that all gets washed and then hung up separately. All of Sam's trousers that we don't want to shrink, they get washed on their own and hung up. And then towels all go in on their own, and I do not put very much detergent in there at all, only like the tiniest bit, and I wash it on super hot. So everything else just goes in together. Don't care what color it is. Thoughts on Sam's new fitness goals? I talked about it a little bit on Friday. My basic thoughts are, I have been with him for long enough that I know that he feels the best and the happiest when he is exercising consistently. And I also know that he's been feeling like shit mentally and physically for a long time. So he's had an interest in consistently exercising and consistently eating better for a while. And, you know, however you feel about people doing this around New Year's, it is definitely a thing that around New Year's people are like, it's a whole new year, you know? But my opinion is, as long as he is safe about it, I told him that I'm going to be his check-in person. I'm going to check in with him every couple of days and make sure that he is doing okay, because this is a huge overhaul. And, you know, when people like rapidly change what they're eating, it can make them super depressed. So I said, if I get the feeling that you are doing worse instead of better, I will say something. But as long as you're healthy and, you know, you feel like this is going towards a situation that's going to make you feel a lot better and feel happier and sleep better and, you know, all of that stuff. A lot of people were like, shouldn't you do this gradually? And he was like, no, because Sam is Sam has to Sam it in his mind. It's like, I have to go full on. I have to be Sam. I have to just like do everything 3000% from the word go. So if that's how he wants to do it, I said that I would support him 100% and just make sure that he's doing okay and that, you know, it's not detrimental to him. So yeah. Plus Ultra and all that. Yeah, all that stuff. But yeah, I told him that I would remain food king of the house, and that if he gave me what he wanted to be eating, I would make sure that it was all portioned out and ready for him to do whatever. So I've done that today. And yeah, I was like, should we, like, you know, change up how we're making some of this stuff? Like, it, you know, for the most part, it's just like, yeah, I want this protein and rice, and I want this protein and, you know, sweet potatoes, and, you know, I'm gonna eat 20 eggs a day or whatever the fuck. I was like, do you want me to, like, I mean, we can prepare them differently. And he was like, no. I was like, we could take the sweet potatoes, we could make them like chips, you know, and then, you know, and he was like, no, because then in my mind, I was also like, yeah, we could take, you know, we have like mince. It's like, we could take the mince and make like patties, and that way you could just throw them in the air fryer. He was like, that's fine, but I will warn you that my brain will then go, I mean, it's only one step away from just eating a burger. I could just eat a burger. I was like, well, you know, in my mind, that's not so bad, but like, if you feel like all of this is like slippery slope shit, I'll just make it boring as fuck every single day. Whatever you need. I'll probably change up the seasoning, because otherwise I will also get sad. Him scarfing down 3 chili dogs while going over diet and exercise with Canute was great. Yeah. I was thinking about that. It's like, what a meal. But yeah. You know, I was saying on Friday that like with Clark, we try to be very, there are no bad foods, you know. It's all about just like moderation, and it's good to try all kinds of things, and you know, all that sort of stuff, right? And also like body types and body shapes. Like there are no bad body types, you know, because she was like, we were at the grocery store, and some of the grocery stores have like clothing in them, and she pointed out, I thought this was like oddly observant, she was like, how come all of the kids' clothes is shaped the same and the grown-ups' clothes isn't shaped the same? And I was like, well, because a lot of times kids all, you know, have like similar bodies, and then as you get older, the older you get, your bodies change a lot, and people wind up with all different shapes of bodies, all different heights of bodies, all different types of bodies, and there needs to be like lots of variation in clothing to adapt to that. And then, you know, she threw in like like when I'm gonna be as tall as Daddy, I was like, absolutely, you will need special clothes for that. Yes. But you know, she keeps banking on it. She really does. She is convinced that she will be as tall as Sam. She is currently, of the kids that are in her age range in the family, she's currently the shortest. So, you know, that doesn't mean anything. Kids shoot up all the time. Manifesting it. She's manifesting it, dude. She's ready. But yeah, like trying to talk about what Sam's doing with her in a very, you know, you are in this house the same as us. You know that Daddy is tired all the time. You know that Daddy doesn't feel well a lot of the time. You know, and he wants to be eating different foods because the foods that we eat fuel our bodies in different ways. He wants to try eating some different things. And he also wants to be exercising because exercising makes him feel really happy and healthy. So, you know, so that's what he's going to be doing. I was the tallest in my class until I was 10, and then I never grew again. Yeah. I was normal height. I was like the same height as everybody else, and then everybody hit a growth spurt that I just did not hit, you know? So. I was relatively tall until I came to a halt at 13, and now I'm average. You're using that energy for evil. Cheers. Yeah, it's wild to me that, like, looking back on high school, when I was like a dancer, like dancing all the time, I was 4'9", but like, dude, I could press so much weight with my legs. And the last time that I went to the gym, I tried using the leg press, and I was like, holy fuck, this is so hard. It has been too long, dude. So I'm saying that my leg muscle is what made me grow, and I lost it. Yeah, I used to think that my brother was tall. And he's 5'10", and then, you know, 5'10" is nothing to sniff at, but like, once I once I, started meeting more and more people, I was like, geez. I know a lot of people who are 6 foot or taller. Good damn. But yes, I am the shortest in my family. And my family is all, like, kind of short. My dad has a lot of back problems. I've talked about this before, and occasionally there's a response that's like, that's very sad. It is sad, but my dad has had really bad back problems for a long time. Undiagnosed scoliosis. He's fallen off of 2 roofs, like it's a whole thing. So his back is really messed up. And the older that he gets, he's now almost my height. And I think it's so cute. I'm sad for why it's happening. But as an adult now, to go and hug my dad and be like, we're almost the same size. There's just something very cute about it. It's gonna be interesting when my boyfriend and my families meet. Latin American shorties versus Dutch giants. Yeah, my wedding with Sam was we joke that it was the hobbits and the elves. My family was all just like kind of short, squat little people, and Sam's family is just a bunch of tall, gorgeous people. So yes, he does use a walker. Yeah. He has one of those ones where you get to, like, you have 2 handles and you get to just kind of wiggle along. Clarky saw somebody with one of those. I was like, how come sometimes you need 2 handles and sometimes you only need 1, like a cane? I was like, well, and it was in that moment that I realized that there's so many questions that she asks where I'm like, I had never really thought about it. I was like, I mean, I guess, like, a cane, I assume, is when you need more support on one side versus the other, I assume. But then, like, the walkers with, like, 2 handles and, like, a little shelf and, like, 4 wheels and stuff, as if, it's not one side or the other, it's, like, all of it. So Sam told us you're on a government watch list. Is that true? Jesus. I always get patted down at when I go on a flight, if that's what he means. Cane can also just be for good days where you just need a bit of extra stability. That makes sense. Yeah, if you grow up on a farm, potentially your luggage will ping as though it has the sort of materials that you might need to make a bomb. And if that happens, if you try to go through and it pings that, then yeah, you get consistently patted down pretty much always. It's unfortunate. Yeah. So you mean they flag you personally? All that I know, I don't have any confirmation of this. All that I know is when I was a kid, they found traces of fertilizer on my bags, which pings the same stuff as, like, this person could have made a bomb, right? They searched through all of my shit, and ever since then, nearly every single time I go through TSA, I get pulled aside. I don't know. It could just be luck. Could just be luck. I don't know. Prue, welcome to the Cat Gang. Thank you very much for subscribing. I appreciate it.
Drinking burrito babe.
Yeah. Which is fine. I never I just plan the like slight extra amount of time. Fortunately, actually, I've never gotten a pat down while I've had Clark with me. Thank goodness, because that would be such a pain in the ass. She's got a baby. She's fine. Dude, I need to replace these lights. It's so dark in here all the time. But I don't, you know, here's the thing though, is I hate overhead lights. People joke about not liking the big light, quote unquote. I don't like the big light. I never like the big light in any room. So part of me is like, okay, either I can spend only a little bit to get light bulbs and replace the light bulbs, or I can just get like lamps. Oh, that's a good idea. Does anyone like the big light? The times that I do like the big light are when I need a lot of light. If I'm trying to like see something hyper specific. I saw you in old Game of Thrones clip where you played Arya Stark on Warp Zone stuff. Why the name Dodger is your real name a secret? It is not. I've been doing this for a very long time. So yes, when I first started, I wanted to use a different name. But people know my name now. Yeah, Dodger is not my legal name. Do you prefer viewers call you Dodger? Yes. Dodger or Dooger or whatever. I've been asked that a lot. Like, if someone sees me in For Real's life and says Brooke, no thank you. No, absolutely not. It's confusing for a couple of reasons. Only people who like know me in real life call me Brooke. So if you are a viewer that approaches me and calls me Brooke, I will immediately be like, where do I know you from? Why do I know you? Why are you calling me that? You know? So I'm on guard immediately. If you call me Dodger, I will immediately know the situation of like, you know, our like interaction. But also, yeah, I just feel much more comfortable when viewers call me Dodger, and like people that are, you know, in my For Real's life call me Brooke. Yeah, Doogs is fine. That's what I mean. Like Dodger, Doogs, Dooger, any of that shit is totally fine. But yes, my name is Brooke. Does anyone IRL call you Dodger? Some of my like online friends when we've met in real life have called me Dodger because that's what they feel most comfortable with. Or like some of my buds when we're in like Discord calls will call me Dodger. I think sometimes it has to do with how I was introduced to you, or it has to do with how long we've been in each other's lives, right? Like Jesse, if we're in a video or playing a game or whatever, he will always call me Dodger. And if we're together in for real's life, he calls me Brooke 100% of the time, you know? Because we've spent a ton of time together. But, you know, there are a couple of people who I would say are friends of mine. I was introduced to them as Dodger, right? And so that's the name that they think of when they see me, and that's totally fine. Yes, that's so true. Benji loves using people's real names, and it's so confusing to people sometimes. Like Greg for Gmart or Eric for Krendor. Yeah, Zaraki, we played it twice last week. Yeah, I mean, you know, also we have friends who have said like, hey, don't call me this if we're streaming together or if you're talking about me on stream, right? Everybody's entitled to whatever amount of privacy they need or want. So, yeah, we also have friends who are like, you know what my real name is? I don't want you to ever say it. Don't ever say it out loud. Like, great, got it. You know. Do not utter my real name. My power would thus be stolen. First name Tomato, last name Gaming. True. Can confirm that is his full name. Yeah, he's right here. He's a cute boy. You okay? What you doing? My true name is unpronounceable by mortals. Good. I was saying a couple months ago, I think this came up, but like since Clark has been in school, I would say probably 50 or 60% of the kids that she goes to school with have names that I don't know how to pronounce right off the bat. So I've been trying really hard to make an effort to like understand how to pronounce all of their names. And Clark is militant. If I say a name wrong, she corrects me and I love it. Like, absolutely. Yeah, it's great. She's like, Mommy? Are they spelled weird or just British? Neither. They're not names that I'm culturally familiar with. Because she goes to school with kids from all kinds of places. Lots of like immigrated families. So they're just names where I look at them and I'm like, I have no idea how to pronounce that. But Clark does. Clark knows how to pronounce everybody's names perfectly. So if I say them wrong, she's like, no. No, that's not how you say that name. One of them, was the kid whose birthday we went to last night. And I was literally like practicing the name in the car, and she would be like, no, it's not like that. That's not it. Yeah, it was great. I think that's very cool because like I know from talking with them as adults that I am friends with a lot of people who either came up with a name that is totally different from their actual name just so that people would actually pronounce it and not make a big deal about it, or their name has been mispronounced their whole life and they just got used to it and are like, okay, I guess that's how my name's going to be pronounced. So I love that she's going to school with so many kids with names where I'm immediately like, I don't know how to pronounce any of these, but like she does. She knows how to pronounce all of them. And is really like, she wants to make sure that I'm also pronouncing them properly. And I think that's awesome. Like, what a huge shift, you know? Yes. Oh my God. She went, I don't know about her reception class, but she went to nursery with a couple of Irish kids that had very Irish names, and I still am not totally sure how to pronounce those names, dude. The Irish BH that's actually just a V. I wonder what causes that, especially in such a young person. It's 100% a thing here too in New Zealand with the younger generation. I mean, here's what I hope it is that in the past it was a thing because the teachers didn't bother, right? The teachers were potentially part of the problem and didn't learn how to say the name properly, and or you know, the kid had run into enough situations where people couldn't pronounce it properly that they, you know, were told like, can't, you know, maybe even jokingly like, can't we just call you this instead, sort of a thing, which is like insanely hurtful, right? So I'm hoping that one of the big shifts is in the teachers. The teachers now are being told like, learn how to say the kids' names in your class, right? If we have kids, this is an example that comes up all the time, but it's so true. If there are kids that can grow up hearing the name Tchaikovsky when people are talking about music, if we can figure out how to say that, then there's no excuse. Like, there's no excuse. You can learn how to say the names of the people that are your classmates, you know. It might take you a couple tries, but you can figure it out. Yeah, I think Amarian mentioned this, but when I was in college as well, we had a ton of kids that came over as like exchange students, and nearly all of them chose a different name to have and to use while they were on campus. And at the time, what's weird is at the time, I don't think I found that strange. Maybe because when I was in like French class, when I took French as like a fun thing, they had all of us choose like a French name to use in class. So I was like, maybe it's kind of like that. Like you come over and like, if you want to use an English name, feel free, right? Which is weird. But now looking at it, I'm like, surely it was because like either they believed or they were encouraged to believe that people would not make the effort to pronounce their names properly, and it would just be easier to use an English name, which is sad. We also chose French names in French class, but I've never had that happen in another language class. Interesting. Maybe that's a weird thing that just happens in French classes. We chose Roman names for Latin. Good. I used my great uncle's name, Élysée, because I thought it was pretty. So I was Élysée in French. Honey, look at this tail. What are you thinking about? What's happening? Hi, you okay? I just rage quit Hollow Knight. I hate the White Palace. I believe in you. I understand the rage quit, but I believe in you that when you return back to Hollow Knight, you will defeat the palace and be victorious. I could see you wanted a head smooch, sorry. I was doing a bit, so I couldn't do it right away. I wonder how many cats there are. In my house, 2. There's this guy, Sherlock, and the white one is named Watson. How many cats are there worldwide? How many cats are in the world? It auto-filled it. It is estimated that there are roughly 600 million cats on the planet currently. So there you go. Not enough. TikTok tells me most of them are in Turkey. Yeah, no, I have no desire to have more than 2 cats. I know the goof is that over the years I would just attain more and more and more of them, but no. Sherlock and Watson are my beepies. I was saying, and this is morbid, but I was saying that, like, when they pass away, I don't know if I want cats again for a long time. Not because I dislike having cats, but just, like, the idea of having other cats is so weird to me. I want to foster cats, but Alex says we'd get too attached. I really liked fostering. I really enjoyed it. I worried that I would get too attached as well, and nearly every time I had to give the kittens back, I was like, I could keep one. But there is something, like, really fulfilling about being like, and now you can have your forever home, you know? I watched another streamer went from 1 cat to 3 and now has 5. Amazing. Yeah, I was making fun of Kelly because Kelly came to my house, saw my chickens, and was like, I want chickens. Went home and is now a full-on chicken lady. Like, people goof that like you get a couple of chickens and then you're like, I could have another one, and then you're like, oh, but I could have a different breed and then get different eggs, and then like you just like keep getting more chickens, right? Kelly has full on become a chicken lady. It happened so fast. Every picture that she ever sends me is of her with a chicken. It's so cute. Hi, Maureen. I do have chickens. I have 3. The hope is that when we move one day, I've already talked with them about it because I already know exactly what I want, but I'm gonna have like a really nice coop built, and then maybe get a couple more. Afton gets free roosters. I told my mom about the idea where I make the chicken coop that has a shed attached, and the shed is actually where like my mom and dad stay so that my dad can hang out with the chickens because he loves birds. And my mom was like, that sounds fine. I will not stay in there if there's a rooster. She's like, I can't deal with it. I cannot do the rooster thing again. They are so loud. I hate them. I was like, that's fine. No, like the company that makes the really nice... Honey, stop. The company that makes, like, these really nice coops. I messaged them a while ago, and then we started talking about moving, and I was like, oh, well, I'm not going to get it built here then. I'll just wait until we move. And who knew that trying to, like, get this house was going to take, you know, over half a year. That is the litter robot. I had a message on my phone that was like, there is a fault. There's a fault on the litter robot. A torque fault. It's paused. And I was like, no! And then when I went upstairs, it was perfectly fine. And it was running like normal. And I went to look at the app and it was like, yeah, it did have a torque fault at like 2 a.m. But it's over it now. We're fine. It's like, okay. Normally that's because the litter was overfilled. Oh, weird. That's definitely not what's going on in there right now. Not that there's like too little litter, but like the last time that I filled it up was a couple days ago. It's perfectly fine. Watson still runs in to watch it every single time it turns though. Which is cute. Yeah, they both use it. They both use it now. Watson still is like weird around it, but she does use it, so that's good. How do you find the litter robot? I love it. It's amazing. It's so great. I just get a text when the basin is full. Awesome. I have yet to find pee anywhere. When we first got the litter robot, well, not when we first, after like the week-long period where I let them get acclimated to it being in the house and then removed the old litter box, we did find a pee spot that she was using, but that door's shut now. So she spent a couple days where every time she needed to pee, she would just prowl around meowing, and I was like, yep, get in here, homie. And now she's fine. It's literally called the litter robot. It's expensive, but holy shit, it's so great. Big fan. I just linked you to the litter robot influencer program. Oh, hell yeah. Oh, yes. Hey. What's happening here? Why are the both of you just sitting here? That's where my mouse goes. Goodness gracious. Yeah, it looks like Vegeta landed in it and then left. They hear you talking about them. Hi. What are the two of you doing? Does it have to be right here? Okay. You cannot prove that Vegeta didn't use a kitty poop robot. It's true. There are no details proving one way or the other if the Saiyan pods are also litter boxes. Hey. Don't lick there, Bubba. That's where your boo-boo is. A Saiyan prince would never. I don't know. Those are long flights, dude. Those are long flights. And sure, you might say, yeah, but they were asleep for all of it because that's how the Saiyan pods are built. I understand that. I'm pretty sure they still needed the pee poop, though. My sweet girl. We caught up on a bunch of anime last night. We caught up on My Hero, on Chainsaw Man, and almost caught up on Blue Lock. Sam made it clear he wasn't in the mood for Mob, so we still haven't finished Mob. Hi. What are you guys doing? Is there something you both need to talk to me about? Look at these two. Yeah, this is the family meeting. Like, we heard there's gonna be a family meeting when you're done with work. Take your time. You've got, what? A little under 40 minutes left. So, it's fine. We'll wait. New Trigun is so good. I haven't watched it. I only watched the trailer. I haven't seen the actual show. Sherlock is about 13, we think, and Watson is 9. I know, big kids. I'm gonna put you both on the ground now because this is stressing me out. I love you so much, though. 1. He ran away. If you want to sit in the window, that's fine. Do not sit here, though, please. Oh, yeah. I wonder if Sam knows there's a Nier anime. We can incorporate that. That's going in the docket, dude. Is it on Crunchy or is it on something else? One person said Netflix, one person said Crunchy, two people said Crunchy. Hold on. Near anime. Da, 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 da. Yes, Crunchyroll. Sam was so sad. They swapped the outro for My Hero because like every however many episodes there's a new opening and ending, right? And the old opening, the one that they just swapped, the old opening, every single time it would start, Sam did the same goof every single time, and then they changed it and he was like, oh no. He was like legitimately really sad. Your anime has CG so bad, it's embarrassing. Okay. Like Berserk bad? My goof. My goof, it's done. I can't. Not Berserk bad. Almost Berserk bad. I don't think it's Berserk bad. I'll have to watch it. Some of you guys are saying it's fine. So, see. Okay. It's like, if I'm gonna leave, I'm leaving on my terms. I mean, people tend to be very critical of CG animation. It depends for me. Like, when Berserk came out, I did not have the fortitude for that. But there have been plenty of things that have come out where people have said the CG is so bad it ruins it, and I've been like, it's fine. You know, it's fine. So, I'll still try it. Yeah, and people are using CG in so many different ways now. Honestly, like with Nier, is it all CG? It's not. So when Black Clover came out, I didn't get through very many episodes of that because the parts that were like heavily CG looked like a totally different show, right? It's kind of like, oh my God, it's the bear. Like the bear, right? In, what's that show? What's that anime? The bear. I just keep saying it. What is the name of that show? Golden Kamui. Thank you so much. In Golden Kamui, there's a whole scene with a bear that is like, honestly, inspired. There's a bear that looks like it hopped out of a different show altogether. When it's mixed in anime, I can't stand it. That's what I think that's kind of the point I'm trying to make is like, if it's all CG, there have been plenty of shows, even from a while back, that were all CG, right? did it look as good as CG looks now? No, but because it was all CG, I was able to get used to it. It was fine. But when it's like a normal anime and then occasionally there is like something so computer generated, it's very difficult for me. Paddington is not what I meant. No. Wait, I'm gonna try to find you a picture of the bear. The bear. Golden Kamui. It looked, oh my god. It looks like it was photoshopped. The bear! I didn't remember it looking this bad. It's incredible. Holy shit. It has to be Photoshop. Go ahead. Go look. Go Google the bear, Golden Kamui, Kamui. All of the pictures look like this. All of the screen grabs it is that bear. I didn't see that some people had like cut the bear out and replaced it with different shit. That's really funny. Oh my god. Oh my god. Okay, sorry. Just going through all of them. Show us the meme. This is what... Oh no, I think I lost it. Wait, where is it? Okay, hold on. The bear, Golden Kamui. Okay, and then if I click on this one, then I... Yeah, here we go. We've got this. We've got this. Ooh, these are good. This is good shit. We've got this one. We've got this one. You know, it's just good. It's good. It's great even. Oh my god, this chair is so squeaky. Cute earrings. Thank you. They finally showed up. They're a little bit bigger than what I like to wear though. They're like eternity hoops. So a long time ago I had said, "Oh, you know, I wish that I had earrings that I could just go to bed in because it feels like if I take earrings out, my ears start to close up." And somebody was like, you should get eternity hoops because they're literally designed to just like leave in. So I got some and I loved them, but one of them broke. So I was like, okay, I'll go looking for some different ones. And I like these ones because they're kind of like oil slicky, like color wise. But they're bigger than the other ones were. I liked the smaller ones. Dodger's still using the bad chair. The bad chair is basically a character at this point. Yeah. Yeah, I'm allergic to almost every metal. So you can find them. Yeah, if you look up eternity hoops, they basically look like this. Oh, do the makeup artist thing. So that's the part, obviously, that goes in your ear. And then it just closes up like that. And you can just leave them in. But yeah, my old ones were silver and they were smaller and they kind of like hugged
my skin a bit more, if that makes sense. And these ones are definitely bigger. Oh, interesting. My sister's allergic to metal earrings, so she just wears earrings made from bone. I like that. My bougie ass ears, dude. Yeah. My ears have gotten infected so many times because I've been like, oh, these earrings are really cute, but they've got nickel in them, but I'm sure I'll be fine. And then my ears are itchy and they try to close up and they get all scabby and awful. It's the worst. Guys, what? What do you both want? This is actually driving me crazy now. Dude, come on. Beep, beep. Thank you. Hello, my love. Hey. It's a cat space now, not a mouse space. Dude, I can't. I can't with this. There's still a little soup left. The me of an hour and 37 minutes ago really hooked me up. Ah, it's cold! It's freezing cold soup! Dude. It's so good. Fuck. I'm gonna have more of it after stream. You can't stop me. The soup police? Nar. Oh yeah, of course. I'll be right back, chat. I'm gonna go get more soup. and do a couple of other things. Go pee, grab a drink, take your pills, whatever. I'll see you in a sec. Hello. Wait, where's the music? Where did the music go? Why is it... Wait. It started playing on my phone? Why? Oh my goodness. Music took a break too. I guess so. Hello, welcome back. My bad. Sorry, guys. There's only one mug's left of soup. And I honestly don't know how well this soup keeps. So I just decided I'm having the rest of it. Please add bad CGI bear to the BRB screen. That's a very good idea. Thank you, Watson, for leaving. Sounds terrible. When she started to walk over this way, I was like, don't do it. Do not sit here and look at me. I swear to God. Chat was helping me try to motivate to deal with the boxes and unboxed piles of stuff from those boxes that I've buried myself in. I see. If you want to go on a fun deep dive that I've done, because we had too many boxes in our house, and I don't know what your situation is, but I started looking up people making things out of cardboard. It's fun. You start to be like, maybe I'll chop up some of this cardboard. Maybe I'll maybe I'll do something with it. And now Dodger has a cardboard castle. I did make a swan for my kid. Clarky and I made a swan with a box for her to sit in, so she sits inside the swan. We made that. I started making a bookshelf, but I think that it needs more support. I don't think there is an amount of paper mache and plaster that I can put on this bookshelf where it will reliably hold books. So, but who knows? Do you ever come back up to the Pacific Northwest? Well, we had about two-ish years there where I literally couldn't. So, since I've moved here, I have been able to return to the Pacific Northwest once. That was not my intention, though. I should be coming out there once a year, at the very least. I didn't dye my hair darker, no. Since I got this camera, though, my hair's been showing up a lot darker on camera. I didn't make any resolutions. What I did do was, and I read this off to chat a few days ago, but I made a list of everything that I would love to do this year. And then I made a list reminding myself of the stuff that makes me really happy. Like the things that I really enjoy doing, to encourage myself to like pursue those things. So, one of the things that I really wanted to do this year was, take even a couple of singing lessons. So I reached out to somebody and I have my first like trial singing lesson on Monday. I'm very excited. So that's first thing. First thing, did it. I haven't even gone to the class yet. Done, I did it. Yeah, well, I've wanted to take singing lessons for a long time. When we did that Song of the Seven thing that Kelly put together, Kelly said to both Sam and I, like, you guys would really pop off if you took singing lessons. And I was like, I wanted to take singing lessons, so I decided to finally do it. Yeah, it turns out the person I reached out to, she's super cool, but hilariously, her normal class times are between 11 and 4. And I was like, you're gonna laugh, but that's literally exactly when I work. She was like, okay. So she was like, how about I'll give you a lesson that's outside of my normal hours as a trial, and we'll see like how well we vibe and if you enjoy yourself. And if you do, and you know, like maybe we can figure out a way that we can compromise on the time. So all things considered, I did make some good progress on sorting a bunch of it. Now it's a matter of figuring out what goes back in the boxes and what gets put elsewhere in the house. Yo, but you started! That's amazing. Progress can be little bits at a time. That's okay. Yes, Watson, what's up? What are you meowing about, dude? I do not get compared to Hayley Williams very often anymore now. We had her name blacklisted on my channel for a while, though. Oh my god, I completely understand that. No, there's like a pile of stuff that's just my craft supplies. And yeah, I use a lot of it, to be honest. I do use a lot of it, especially since having Clark, because she comes up with the weirdest shit that she wants to do. But there are some things where I'm like, I know I have that somewhere. Do I want to dig through all the shit to find it? I should, so that I actually know what's in there. Nobody Hunter, thank you for the raid. Yeah, it's egg flour soup. I found a recipe. I was saying at the start of the stream, I found a recipe that is exactly like the egg flour soup that I had growing up. And it's so easy, and it's blown my mind. I'm so happy. The only thing that's missing is the water chestnuts. I need chopped up water chestnuts in there, and then it'll be, oh my god. I'll lose it. But for now, it's delicious. It's so good just like this. I made a huge pot of it, and this is the last of it. So I want a little ham. I want a little ham. Yeah, it's a TikTok video, oddly enough. But I'll find it and put it in Discord, yeah. Yeah, it's great. I come across so many recipes where I'm like, I didn't even know that this is a thing, right? I had this weird like crossing over of the sort of like parenting TikTok stuff that I interact with and cooking TikTok, and there's a bunch of different videos that you can find that are basically parents, but like from totally different cultures from me, that are like, this is what I feed my toddler, you know? So it's like, it's the food and the parenting thing, like crossing over, and then being like, this is what I feed my kid. And I'm like, I don't even know what that is, but I'm intrigued. Is it delicious? I want to know. Oh yeah, we did baby led weaning. It was great, honestly. You have to, this is gonna sound scary, but like, you basically you have them interact with more like solid foods earlier. So instead of doing a lot of like pureed foods, you give them, you know, like cooked to mashed, basically lots of different foods that they're able to easily eat, and they can like learn to pick them up and eat them themselves and like that sort of thing. We did that with Clark. The only thing about that, I would recommend it. I think it's great. But the only thing about that was that you do have to watch for choking, because they're learning to use all of this shit that keeps you from choking, right? So letting them interact with food in that way on their own really, really early on, you know, not at a dangerous time, like a time when they absolutely can. It's just their first time doing it, right? So you have to like sit there and be like, don't choke, don't choke, don't choke. There was one situation that we ever had where it wasn't a gag. It was literally, she was like, I can't breathe. And thank God I had watched a bunch of videos that were like, hey, if this is something you're worried about, here's how to get food to come back out on a little kid, on like a 1-year-old. So I got to use that only once. Thank God. Too much of TikTok food disgusts me. Disgusts you. Oh my God. I do think there's a section of food TikTok that is entirely people who are trying to do like the wackiest shit possible with food for virality, right? And it winds up getting shared on like, you know, bad food Twitter and like all sorts of shit, but it's getting shared, you know? So there's that. That's definitely a thing on TikTok, 100%. But then there are a bunch of like really interesting channels doing really cool stuff, like in the food space, I think. Chip bag scrambled eggs is a TikTok staple. I watched that for the first time and I was like, what the fuck? Hi, Kulike. It's amazing how good some of the bad sounding stuff comes out. I do love... So here's another thing that winds up being a really interesting crossover of spaces. Food science TikTok is really interesting. When someone does a thing and everyone's like, this isn't real. They're just trying to like bait people. And then someone will go, actually, there's a science to why that would actually taste good, you know? I think that's really fun. The only problem with egg flour soup is there's always like little danglies. How do you grab a section that's not going to have a dangle? It probably will have a dangle. eggs in hot sauce has to be scientifically explained somehow. I'm sure someone's done it. The most recent one that I saw was tahine on watermelon. And they were like, oh yeah, this should work because of X, Y, and Z reason. Oh, also watermelon in... Wait, was it watermelon? Watermelon in soy sauce? I think that was a thing. No! Soy sauce on grapefruit. That's what it was. And a person tried it and they were like, that's disgusting. Disgusting. And then another person like stitched it and said, well, you know what's funny is soy sauce and grapefruit are actually used a lot in sauces. They do pair well together. The problem is like the ratios. You can use the perfect amount. It's like salt in chocolate chip cookies, right? You can use the perfect amount and it like heightens the flavors and it's fantastic. Or you can use a little too much and absolutely ruin it. Watermelon and cottage cheese. Oh my god, I haven't had cottage cheese in a very long time. Cottage cheese was always in my house growing up. I have a soft spot for it, but some people find it very yucky. Salt and grapefruit is pretty common already. I never had salt and grapefruit. My mom would put sugar on grapefruit as like a treat sometimes. And that was amazing. My mom would make electric watermelons. She would cut a hole in a watermelon and then fill it with vodka. I've never heard that called an electric watermelon before, but yes, I have also known people that have done that. Yeah, I would say just try an itty bitty bit on the grapefruit and see how it goes. I had to wait for the follower timer to end before saying anything. No one I follow is live. I wanted to check my lurkers somewhere. I haven't actually seen any of your content since before you moved to Britain and gave Barry your office. That's amazing. Well, welcome back. And thank you very much. Yeah. It's been 3 years. Isn't that wild? Clarky and I were looking at my phone and it was like, look at these pictures from 3 years ago. And it's literally from like right when we moved. So wild. But yeah. We're just hanging. We're just doing the same old, you know? Time is weird. Time is a weird soup. That is what they say. Oh my god. You're too large. How do I find the UK compared to the US? I've said this before, but like a lot of the issues that are present in the US are also present in the UK politically. But, you know, there are some things that like are absolutely life-changing about being here. I've mentioned before that it was not long after we moved that Sam had C. diff, which is like an intestinal infection, and was in the hospital for a couple weeks. And we didn't have to pay anything. And that's still something I think about sometimes, like how wild that is, you know? So yeah, there's a lot of ways in which there are things that I used to stress about in the United States that I don't stress about anymore, which is really nice. But I would say in terms of like, you know, the sort of like political struggles that are happening here are the same ones that are happening in the US, you know. But on lighter notes, Clarky has really put down roots here. It's been really fun for me to like go and try living in a totally new place. Sam gets to be with his family more often. You know, Clark adores her cousins, which was the primary reason we came here, was so that Sam could be near his mom specifically, and so that Clarky could spend time with her cousins. And since coming out here, there are four more since. So, you know, like there's just more and more and more kids, and Clark loves them all, and they all get along so well. So yeah, people will come in here all the time and be like, are you gonna go back to America? Not anytime soon. We came out here mostly, you know, to give Clark the like big family element that we didn't have where we were before, and so that Sam could be with his family, and we've achieved both of those things. So yeah, we have no reason to uproot Clark, you know. Yes, Clark has a British accent, but I ruin it. There are a lot of things. She says a lot of things the way that I say them. So people will talk to her and be like, where is she from? What is that accent? Where is that accent from? Or they'll say, oh my gosh, she has a little American accent. And I'll be like, what? Pardon? Yeah, she says things like hell yeah because I say them. Mm-hmm. Yep. Her vowel sounds, I think, are very American. Although, oh my god. We were talking about someone, and she was like, yeah, they're very bold. And I was like, oh, that's a nice compliment to say that someone is bold. And she was like, what do you mean? And I said, they're bold. Like, you know, they you know, they're brave. They do things, you know? And she was like, that's not what that means. And I was like, it is what that means, though. We argued about this for a long time, and it turns out that she was saying bald, and I thought she was saying bold. Because the English way, like with an English accent, to say bald sounds more like bold, right? I got very confused. So we're already starting to like do shit like that, where she'll say a word and I'm like, uh-oh, is this gonna be another bald bold situation? I hope I'm understanding you properly. In Ireland, bold means badly behaved. What? Like, you're bold enough to break the rules, sort of a thing? Bold has negative connotations in New Zealand, too. What? That's so funny. Not in America. You can say it in a way where it's not a compliment, but, like, generally, to be bold is, like, a good thing. Did you find the UK's milk system odd compared to the US? It took me forever to figure out if I should be buying 1% or 2% milk when I moved to Canada. Yeah. I've learned, like, we buy the green milk. But if you wanted to ask me what's on the green milk. I have no idea. I don't know what it says. Because, yeah, the way they categorize milk is different here. Yeah, it's all percentages in the US. So percentage of fat content in the milk. So skim milk, 1%, 2%, whole milk, etc. But here it's like skim, semi-skim. I think whole milk is still called whole milk. I think. Oh my gosh, I'm not sure. Oh, we buy the green one. That's the one that Sam drinks and uses. So I don't use milk in a lot of stuff. So I get the green one, you know? The weird one for me still is if I need sour cream, there's probably going to be like one option for sour cream, and it's really small. It took me a long time to find it the first time. How do you feel about Sunday roast? Sam and Clark are going to Sunday roast right now. Godspeed. I had a rough day with her yesterday, so Sam was like, Mom's invited us over. I will be going. Let me know what you'd like to do. And I was like, I would love to stay home. He was like, fantastic. It's not that I don't enjoy going to my mother-in-law's for a Sunday roast. It's that, holy shit, some alone time? Say less. I will finish my stream, and then I will space out for 2 hours, and then I'll hear the car come in and be like, no! I didn't use my time wisely. Spacing out alone is important. You know, if you space out by yourself, maybe you needed it. Dude, this soup is so legit. I'm gonna go buy water chestnuts. I'm gonna buy water chestnuts. I'm gonna make this again this week. Good soup. What is that from? That's Kylo Ren, right? I'm so sorry. Fuck, what is that guy's name? That poor dude. Everybody must do that to him. Adam Driver. That's Adam Driver in a movie, right? Who says good soup? Who says good soup? Nope, I adore you. Goodbye. I'm very fortunate in that typically if I just put my hand behind Sherlock, he hates it so much that he runs away. I don't push him at all. If I feel like I would need to push him, I just pick him up and move him. But typically if I just put my hand behind him, he's like, ooh. Where is the good soup meme from? Girls. If you've been on TikTok recently, you've probably heard good soup. It is Adam Driver! The sound comes from a 2017 episode of HBO's Girls when a deadpan Adam Driver slurps a big spoonful during an intense emotional conversation. Yes, good. Yeah, I would love to have the context, but at the same time, maybe it's better without it. Good soup has to be a raid message. I'm sure it's someone's raid message. Good soup. Okay. I've been dramatically clapping at the start of every meal because of the menu, and my family hates it. Is the soup thick or heavy? If you've ever had egg flour soup before, it's a normal egg flour soup consistency. I think some places make it thicker or thinner. I don't like when it's super thick. So I used a cornstarch slurry, but like not too much. Like I just let it thicken only a little bit. And then it's a lot of the time spent is in flavoring the broth. So it's broth and then big chunks of scallion, big just like whole garlic cloves and big chunks of ginger, and you just let them boil in there for 30 minutes. So that's the majority of the time spent on this thing. You take those things out, add in the recipe he adds MSG. I don't have any. I think it's kind of hard to find here, but just salt, white pepper, and what was the last one? Oh, turmeric if you want it to be like a little bit yellow. And then a cornstarch slurry if you want it thicker. And then it's the eggs. And then it's literally, you just beat eggs and you slowly pour them in a circle motion, and it makes those big like egg ribbons that wind up in it. And that's it. That's the whole thing. Asian supermarket is the way to go for MSG. Yeah, I'm sure that's true. But it's so good. It's so good. The idea of a lot of egg in a bowl has my stomach crying in despair. You pour it in like really small amounts. So the ribbons that are in there are super thin. What's happening? Can you tell me what's going on, please? You and Watson will not leave me alone. What have I done? What are you trying to tell me? What message am I missing? And the tail's going all over the place. If I put you on the ground, you just run. What's happening, dude? You anxious? What's going on? My cats won't leave me alone today either. Like, if it's just like they just want to sit on my lap, that's fine. But it's like, it's a totally different vibe when they're constantly jumping up here and sitting right here looking at me. Like, what do you need? What have I done? Check the litter box. Our litter box tells me if there's something wrong with the litter box though. And I literally just changed it. It shouldn't need anything for like 2 days. I mean, I'll check it, but it should be fine. Is it because you're the only one home? No. Sherlock is a one-person cat. I am the only person that Sherlock comfortably interacts with in this house. He's very fine when I'm the only one here. The litter box talks to you. It's an automated litter box. We were talking about it earlier. It's called a litter robot, and it's fucking awesome. But there's an app attached to it, so it messages me when it's like, hey, the container with all the shit in it is full if you would like to empty that. And I'll go, thank you, sir. Or, like I said this morning, I woke up and there was a thing that said, there's a fault. It's paused. There's a fault. It's a torque fault. And I was like, what? But it was fine. It fixed itself. How does it know? So it rotates. It sifts out. Every time a cat uses it, it waits a few minutes and then it rotates and sifts out all of the waste. So there's a bin at the bottom that you empty. So it knows when the bin is full. And then it texts you and says, hey, help me. I'm full. I ate too many poops. Help me. Yeah, it's great. Highly recommend. They're very expensive, but highly recommend. It's been great. What are you guys doing? I can't tell if one of them is being weird and it's making the other one feel weird. Or if they're just both weird today. Yes, play. Do that. Now you clean the litter robot's poop instead of the cat's poop. Exactly. Does the litter box still stink? It does not nearly as badly. No. There is no, like, the second that they poop, yeah, because it's still out in the open. Once it's sifted, I can't smell anything. So I just have to wait patiently for it to sift itself. Yeah, they both use it. My mom got a powder that covers the smell. Oh, that's interesting. My cats refuse to use a dirty litter box. Yeah, a lot of cats do. A lot of cats hate when there's anything in there. My cats have never been too picky about that, but I have, over the last few months, for the first time ever, dealt with one of my cats being like a pee bandit and just peeing in places. And man, when I was sheltering cats, that was a thing I dealt with, sure. Not sheltering, fostering. When I was fostering cats, I dealt with that a lot. Since having these two cats, I have never dealt with this as an issue. It's always been one-offs where it's like my fault. Like the door to the place where the litter box is was closed by accident or something, you know? Like really extenuating circumstances. And now Watson hit 9 years old and was like, time, cracks knuckles, to do whatever I want. So I had been encouraged to buy a litter robot a while ago, and I tried to buy one, but it was unable to be delivered for whatever reason. So I was refunded, and I never bothered to like rebuy it. And then I was reminded of its existence, and I was like, maybe that would help. Maybe Watson also has reached a point where she's like, I just want my toilet to be flushed every time I poop. Is that so much to ask? I just want to go in there and have there be nothing. Yeah, and people have talked about that before too. We've tried having multiple litter boxes. They just will still just use the same one. So I was like, okay, apparently you guys don't give a shit whether or not there's more than one litter box. Either that or they've just gotten so used to using the same one that that's what they compulsively still did. I don't know, but I'm planning on fostering cats soon. Any pro tips people don't mention? I mean, when you're fostering cats, you're kind of like you're a place for them to stay, but you're also there to like get them used to what their life might be like when they're like taken into a home for good, right? When they find their forever home, so to speak. So something that I had to learn was to not play with them in a way, in like detrimental ways, like not, play with them like with my hands as a toy, that sort of a thing. Not to encourage stuff that is going to be difficult for them to unlearn, So that sort of stuff, keep that in mind. Like these cats or dogs or whatever, they're, you're providing a home to them. They're not going to be your cats or your dog. So, just try to be aware of that, I guess. I totally let my cat hunt my hands. Yeah. If you are used to playing with cats that way, it's a hard thing to unlearn. But like, you don't want them attacking hands once they're in a new home, right? You don't want them attacking feet, attacking hands. Anything you can do to discourage them from doing that. Making sure that they have like other toys to play with and stuff is good. Because even if you're like, I love it when they bite my toes, like other people will not. Oh, I'm the wrong person to ask about like cat anxiety and stuff. Well, because you're saying your cat's like really scared of everything. Neither of my cats have ever been like overly scared of stuff. So that's not a thing that I've had a lot of experience with, I guess. My dad feeds his cat every time he makes food. So when I moved in, I got my leg carved up if I was cooking. Oh no. Can't remember a time when Dodgers did stream in the past 10 plus years. Wait, what? What's happening? We were trying to figure out when streams started. Oh. Well, my 10-year anniversary of streaming ever was last year. But that wasn't always on Twitch, right? That was on Justin originally, I believe. Yeah. Well, it wasn't consistent. It wasn't like streams, It was just, when did my first stream happen? In February, that will be 11 years ago. But it took me a long time to feel comfortable streaming consistently. Because I felt very weird about live content. And now look at us. Hi. What's going on? What's happening, honey? You okay? You were so feisty. You were running all over the place. You're batting at Watson. Your tail's going crazy. You keep jumping up here and staring at me. I almost called him Clark. Sherlock. Being live takes away control of the edit. That's what keeps me away from doing live content. Yeah, that's exactly what it was. Is like, what if I say something and I'm like, I wish I hadn't said that, which has happened before, but like, you know, it's very rare. And it's usually, it's not like a thing where I'm like, wow, I said something really problematic. It's always, I overshared, you know. I said like a place or a name or something that I shouldn't have said, you know, it's that sort of a thing. But I hate editing. So very quickly I was like, wow, this is so much better. Somebody was asking if I would ever make video content again. I actually saw, so Jesse posted an old clip from when we were both in the offices, the like completionist offices, right? And it was very cute. And I was reading the comments and it was a bunch of people who were like, oh my gosh, I haven't watched Dodger in forever. But I tried to like really take to heart the conversations that were essentially, I know that she just streams now and uploads the VODs, but like the VODs just aren't as entertaining to watch if it's not live. So I don't really watch her stuff anymore, which I totally get. I think about that a lot. If I'm literally just sitting here reading chat, I'll have a thought to myself. Later, somebody's going to watch this VOD and be like, I have no idea what the fuck she's looking at, you know? But for legal reasons, in a just in case sort of sense, we don't put chat on the VOD. We don't have chat just like scrolling, you know? I know, Summer, I saw that at the top of it. Some people thought it was a new clip and were confused. No, years ago. Years ago. It was a long time ago. There's no context on YouTube uploads. Yeah, which, again, I totally get. And part of me is like, should I be editing them differently? You know? Would there be value in saying, like, the coffee time stuff doesn't get put on there because it lacks too much, like it relies too much on the chat interaction and you can't see the chat, so there's just no point in putting it on YouTube. I don't know. Yeah, it has to do with the fact that as far as I understand, there's like a legal gray area about showing what people are saying in chat without their express consent that it be shown in your video. And while it's like a 1 in a billion chance that someone would be like, hey, you know. But yeah, that's the reason why. That's why we don't do it. Ko's talked about it a lot before. Totally. A lot of people do it. We've just been made aware that like it's not you are not fully protected doing that. So we don't do it. I get it. One of my clients is a chief compliance officer for a major bank in Eastern Europe or EU, one of those. A lot of things are considered personal data that you're not allowed to record or share, etc. Yeah, it's interesting. It's not something that, because so many people do it, it's not something that I ever would have thought would be an issue, you know? I've honestly fallen off as a viewer for many reasons. It's nice to jump in a few times that I can. Yeah, and honestly, and I'm not just saying this to be like a saint, but like I'm also a person who consumes content. I know what it's like to watch a person for a long time and then be like, I'd rather watch something else, you know? And occasionally I'll think to myself, I wonder what that person's doing, and I'll come back. If I'm a person that you've watched before and gone off to watch other stuff for a long time and then eventually thought to yourself, I wonder what Dodger's up to, I think that's amazing. I think that's so sweet. Like that someone would think to themselves, I should go see what Dodger's up to. I should go watch the stream just for a little bit, you know? That holds a lot of value to me. So I'm not offended at all when somebody's like, honestly, I pop in here like once every 3 years. That's fair, dude. I do that with some people too. Yeah, or like, and that's completely understandable too. We have people come in here all the time that'll be like, to be honest, I have not watched you since TB died. I get it. I totally get it, you know? Because that had an impact on a lot of people. A lot of people heavily associated Jesse and I with him. And it was like, it was difficult to watch us. I can appreciate that. When you've been making content online for almost a decade, it's just nice when people remember you. For sure. Mm-hmm. And like, I know, and I'm sure, you know, for a variety of reasons, most people who have been making content that long would also say this, you know, in more or less extreme reasons. But like, I know that if someone hadn't watched me for 10 years and came to watch, they'd be like, is this even the same person? You know? But like, there's something fun about that too. What happened with press heart to continue? I don't like editing. I hate editing. And YouTube had so many algorithm shifts that I was not making money on any of my videos, really. So I was putting a bunch of effort into videos that I wasn't making money on, and I hated editing them. So I was like, wow, I'm miserable. I really hate every aspect of this currently. I had just been doing it for a long time, and it wasn't enjoyable, and I couldn't even be like, well, I'll keep doing it because at least I'm making good money off of them, because I wasn't making any money off of them. So I switched to basically only doing Twitch, and yeah, and then I had a kid and stuff, and like now I have to be really specific about what I use my time on. Yeah, and I'm just not, you know, and this works against me in this industry, unfortunately, but I'm not the sort of person that's going to be like, okay, I'm going to figure out how the algorithm works now, and I'm going to do that, right? I'm going to shift my content so it's still my content, but I'm doing what the algorithm needs me to do in order to like keep my stuff, you know, in front of people. It's just exhausting, all of that. And maybe if I was still only exclusively doing YouTube and that was all that I could really bank on, maybe I would have put more effort in that direction, you know, to like really figure out like, okay, what do I got to do, right? But Twitch was going really well for me. And it kind of felt like, okay, well, would I be fine if I was just doing Twitch? I think I would. I think I would be okay. I think I'm better at streaming than I ever was as a YouTuber, and people will argue with me about that, but I honestly think I'm a way better streamer than I ever was a YouTuber. I don't have to edit. I don't have to edit. But hilariously, if I open up like Premiere or something, I still remember all of the shortcuts, which annoys the shit out of me. Like, can that knowledge be replaced with something else? I'm begging. I reckon people argue because of nostalgia. Well, no, I think it comes from a kind place of like, you did really well on YouTube, you know, you created a great community on YouTube and had a lot of people who were rooting for you and loved watching your stuff, you know, which is all true, and I'm so grateful for that. If without that, I wouldn't have been able to like come over to Twitch and have so many people be like, sick, let's start watching live stuff, you know. Yeah, I all of the shit that I did on YouTube, everything that I did before streaming, I would not change. But I do think once I got into the swing of streaming, I was much better suited to being a streamer. Maybe part of that is because I spent years doing a 5-minute vlog every day where I just stream of consciousness talked. It really got me used to just constantly talking. But, you know, Sam and I were talking about this yesterday. I was like, God, Twitch really saved me, I think. Because I don't think all of the ups and downs that YouTube has done, I don't think I would have survived that as a channel, you know? And we were talking about how, I was saying, you know, I do think that since having a kid and having to change up my schedule so often, I do think that that's impacted my viewership for sure. And Sam was like, dude, you're doing fine. Because, like, I had read a thing the other day that was about how a lot of times when people have a baby, one person, typically the mom, not always, but one person in the couple will be like, okay, I have to change everything about my life to, like, suit this little thing, right? Instead of having the healthy approach to it of like, okay, both of us should shift a bunch of stuff so that, you know, we're both still able to like really focus on our careers, but also be there for the kid, right? Typically there's one person who's like, okay, I'm going to change everything about my life, potentially tank my own career, to be a good parent, but I don't want you to have to change anything. You keep doing exactly what you're doing. I'll change everything and we'll just like make it work, you know? And that's like super common. And it's not that I think that Sam and I did that in that extreme of a way, but I do think that I came into the parenthood situation with this vibe of like, I need to like change a bunch of stuff to be like a really present parent. And I'm glad that I did, but I also think that Sam and I could have had more conversations that were like, that were about like how I could remain more consistent. I wouldn't even have that conversation with him, you know? I wouldn't have that I wouldn't be like, hey, I'm thinking I'm going to change X, Y, and Z thing to accommodate her in this way. You know, I would just do it. When I think I should have had those conversations with him, because he 100% would have been like, okay, well, do you need to do it to that extent? Like, can we shift things in a different way so that you don't have to change so much, you know, sort of a thing. But like, yeah. So last night when I brought that up, we were talking about it, and I was talking about like, yeah, you know, I think some of the like consistent shifts that I've done in my schedule and how often I stream and all of that sort of stuff, I think that it's probably done things to my channel that I might not be able to come back from, you know, like I'm trying to just like accept that. And he was like, Brooke, you've maintained a really solid viewership and community. You're not tanking at all. Your numbers aren't like taking a dive. They're lower than they used to be, sure. But like, again, your priorities have shifted. And like, yeah, you've changed some stuff, but like, you have like a really supportive community. You know, you're pretty consistent with when you stream. You're doing great. You're fine. I was like, thanks, honey. Isn't your channel bigger than Sam's? Oh my God. Sam's viewership is crazy now. Over the last couple of years, he has popped off, dude. But if you ask him, he doesn't see it that way. He sees like, it's really interesting how people view their own channels. This is why these sorts of conversations are really important, right? Because I can say to Sam out loud, like, here's what I see my channel doing. And he'll be like, I don't see it that way at all, you know? Sam gets frequently really high viewership on stuff. But like, to him, he still sees those as like one-offs that are entirely dependent on what he's playing and who he's playing with, right? So even though I can say, honey, over the last couple of years, you have consistently played things where you've had like 4,000 or more people watching you, right? Which is wild numbers to me. And he'll be like, yeah, but you know, that's because I was playing this, or that's because I was with this person, or like, you know, whatever. And like, sure, but like, it's pretty consistent. Those streams where he gets high viewership happen more and more and more often, you know? So I see his channel succeeding in huge ways over the last couple of years. And, you know, Sam Brain and Sam Eyeballs look at everything and he goes, I have to go harder. I have to go harder to maintain, to like keep the trend. And I'm like, but you're doing fine though, you know, which is the same thing he's saying to me. You're doing fine. You don't need to change anything. Just, you know, stay consistent. Understand both points of view, for sure. You still have slightly more followers. Yeah, but that doesn't translate into views or subscribers. Follower numbers are super cool to look at, but they don't affect your day-to-day. It's funny how we as people can see and give advice and reassurance to someone, but not see it for our own lives. Yeah, that is very interesting. Sometimes Sam and I think both individually feel like it would probably be easier if only one of us was a streamer, but it is nice that we can have a conversation where both of us 100% understand where the other person is coming from and understand the industry, and we can like talk about it kind of plainly, you know? Yeah. The thing that I try to remind myself of is that I wanted to be able to, like I said before, be a really present and engaged parent. And also still be able to stream and be making enough on stream that I can pay all of the bills that I need to and have a little extra to be comfortable. And I'm able to do that. So that's amazing, you know? Yeah. I can, in the morning, make a cardboard swan with my kid and do a weird painting competition that she decided we had to do immediately, and then, you know, come stream while she goes and has dinner with her dad. You know, it's cool. I'm very lucky. I appreciate it. It's also important to try and put more stock in the hidden metrics, how engaged or supportive the community is, rather than the metrics that Twitch deems most important, like live viewers. They correlate, but they aren't the same thing. I completely agree. Which I think is also kind of what Sam was talking about, right? And what I've had other friends reach out to me about and say that they really value about our channel is the community support. The community is insanely supportive. I heard a quote, my financial goal is to not to have to look at the prices at a restaurant. And I think those are words to live by. That's very good. Yeah. That gets the point across, doesn't it? It depends on the level of restaurant you're thinking of. Yeah, I wasn't gonna say, I've definitely been to a restaurant where like even if I was a 10K viewer a stream sort of person, I would still be like, How much is the lobster though? Because goose with gold flakes. No. Have you ever thought about switching back to YouTube and streaming there? YouTube is still so dicey because moderation is so rough on there. I personally feel, I've said before, like, I would be interested in trying it potentially, but I would be taking a ton of feedback from my mods on what the experience was like, because the chat experience is not great. Moderating it is a nightmare from what I understand. I personally feel that the reason we've been able to have really strict rules about things and community guidelines and mods that are able to uphold those things with clarity is because of the chat experience here, and I don't think we would have that at YouTube, you know? And if we went to YouTube, it would be a ton of new people that aren't here normally, so they wouldn't be taking the values here and putting them in YouTube, right? Some of you would, but not everybody. So it would be hard. Yeah. We've talked before about streaming on TikTok, if that was an option. I think something like Coffee Time would do really well on TikTok, but again, I don't know what moderation tools there are on TikTok, if any.
Welcome, you fine
Iflin Dove, welcome to the Cat Gang. Thank you very much for subscribing. TikTok is terrible for moderation. Fantastic. They're all bad. Only the streamer can do anything. Oof. You would have to mod chat. Oof, God. Yeah, you can. I think that you have to like build up a TikTok before you're offered this, but you can be given a stream key to use with OBS to stream to TikTok, but it's not something that's readily available. Not seen TikTok streams. They do really well. I don't think the viewer experience is great, to be honest. And apparently the streamer experience is also not great. So, so like, I don't know. No, it's not an exclusivity thing. TikTok numbers are very different. You can get millions of likes and it translates to no money. That is true. A lot of people consider TikTok to be a way to reach people that never would have seen your stream, right? It's a way to like have your content in front of eyeballs that never in a million years would have ever seen you. Whether or not that translates into new viewers, I have no idea. But yeah, people do not make money on TikTok. The TikTok shirts Sam and Jesse do seem like a good idea. Yeah, they're very cute. Anywho. It's 4 o'clock. I want to chill a little bit before my family comes home. So I think I'm going to wrap up here. I will be streaming again tomorrow. I'm going to put together a schedule. But we're back to the school schedule. So I'll be starting at 11 a.m. GMT and going until 4. So that is 2 hours earlier than I have been over the last few weeks while she's been home. But she's back in school now, so I can start a little bit earlier. So that's good. And I'm very sorry to those of you who have a harder time watching when we're on that schedule. And I hope that you've been able to catch some streams while we've been doing this. Let me open up channel points. Okay, we've got 3 Valentines. One from Akabara. This one goes to Sam. I'm wishing him good luck with the new fitness goal. Changing your diet can be rough mentally. I know when I had to change my diet last month for health reasons, it was tough. My change has led to about a 20-pound weight loss for me, and I feel a lot better. So here's hoping the change works for him. I'm glad that you're feeling better. And yeah, I hope that Sam, not just physically, but like mentally, I'm hoping that this helps him. Amarian said, this is the 1 year and 2 day anniversary of the best streams and content ever made, the Peppa Pig tier list. I did not see that coming. Thus, I shall celebrate such a momentous occasion with a Valentine to many more Peppa related content that is sure to come. And Parade of Laughter said this Valentine goes out to the Sweater Weather Coffee. My fiance tells me every morning how much he loves it. Oh, I'm so glad. Thank you. I'm so glad. Yeah, for any of you who don't know this, I have a coffee company. We have a seasonal coffee that's up right now. It will not be up forever, just to be clear. A couple of people have asked. It will not be up forever. It is seasonal. So if you would like to try it. Peppa as the CG bear. Oh my god. Oh, we also had a raid leader. Let's see. Live playing The Sims 4, let's go. Incredible. Okay, let's read off the activity feed and then I will send you over there. Jerfy Jerf, thank you for the 87 months. Lego Brainiac for the 14. Poldy for the 5 years. Thank you very much. Is that weird when I just look directly at the camera? Happy 5 years. Thank you very much for the support and the love. I appreciate it so much. Hello world. Welcome to the Cat Gang again. Thank you very much. Mighty Deacon, thank you very much for the gifted sub. Sir Prue for subscribing again. Welcome to the Cat Gang and thank you. Brahmancer, thank you for the 10. Jolie for the 11. Bloodfire for the 80. Alex Luminous for the 3. Crimson J for the gifted subs. Thank you so much for those. Wolven for the 47. Krendall for the 104. Mika Muka for the 85. Erwinga for the 26. Nobody Hunter, thank you again for the raid. Legacy Starkiller for the 42. Johan for the 43. Shashia for the 28. Schmuse Tigger for the 66. Justinus for the 85. Wild Gamer Angel for the 87. Iflin Dove, welcome to the Cat Gang. Again, thank you very much. Jamathy for the 3. Ryzen Sama for the 100. Happy 100 months. Hops Added Husky, thank you very much for the 6. Avi, holy shit. Avi gifted 50 subs. Thank you so much, Avi. And Avi Lanch, as we call them. Thank you so much, Avi. I appreciate that. Welcome to the Cat Gang. Everybody was just gifted a sub. If you were gifted a sub by Avi or anybody else, Bro Manatee also gifted subs just now. Please double check who gave it to you. Take the time to say thank you because it's extremely generous. Thank you so much, guys. I appreciate it. I believe Avi is one of the people who has trouble watching when we're on the other schedule. So I'm sorry, Avi. Thank you so much, guys. All right. We're going to be rating Geomies, I believe is their name. But they're playing The Sims. So go say hi, spread love, spread joy. Thank you all very much for watching. I appreciate it. I will see you tomorrow. Back to the old schedule. New year, new doogs. I don't know. Take care of yourselves, guys. We've got Godforge tonight. If you're watching Godforge, come watch me be a rabbit. Okay, bye!